So the next question says, which of the following would most likely shift the production possibilities curve inward, right? And so remember, our production possibilities curve is going to look something like this. Okay, wait, I don't have my pen on. So it looks something like this. You say this is good X, this is good Y, and so we're saying you can only produce one of two goods, you can produce only two types of goods. What are the possible bundles on this frontier of goods, and what is going to happen that's going to shift this curve inward? It can't be like that. Do that one. One more time. Great. So first says an increase in the number of hours factories are in use. The second says an increase in the production of capital goods. The third says technological progress. Fourth says a decrease in the average number of hours worked per week as the labor force chooses to enjoy more leisure time. So if the production possibilities frontier is going to shift inwards, what we're looking for is something that reduces the total amount of output that we would expect from the economy, from this economy in producing either good X or good Y. And so let's take a look at which answer choice indicates a reduction in the ability of the economy to produce. So A says an increase in the number of hours the factories are in use. So if anything, that's going to increase the production capacity of the economy, not decrease it. So we're not going to choose that answer. 2 says an increase in the production of capital goods. If we assume capital goods are maybe one of the two types of goods, then that's not going to shift the curve at all. And if we assume that capital goods are, that's the only way we can really interpret that in terms of a PPF. So that's not going to be the right answer. Number 3 says technological progress. Technological progress, when it happens or occurs, means that resources are able to be assembled more efficiently, which would shift the curve outward, not inward. So we're not going to choose that. Number 4 says a decrease in the average number of hours worked per week as the labor force chooses to enjoy more leisure time. And that definitely seems like something that, if it occurred, would reduce the capacity of the economy to produce things because your labor force has functionally shrunken as people work less hours. So with a smaller labor force, we would not be able to produce as many things, and so the PPF would shift to the left. So we're going to go with number 4. A decrease in the average number of hours worked per week as the labor force chooses to enjoy more leisure time. Let's take a look at the previous tutor's answer. So the previous tutor said 4 as well, which is good. And they said a production possibilities frontier is a locus of all points representing different maximum combinations of two goods or two baskets of goods an economy can produce when all its resources are efficiently and optimally employed given technology. An increase in the number of workers, accumulation of capital stock, and or technological innovation that enhances productivity leads to an increase in the capacity of the economy, enabling it to produce a greater amount of goods that shifts the PP C to the right. A decrease in the productive capacity of an economy leads to an inward shift in the production possibilities curve. If the average number of working hours is reduced as the labor force chooses to enjoy more leisure time, there will be a reduction in the output, and the productivity of the labor force is not improved due to their action, and hence the PPC will shift inward. So yeah, great answer. Again, covering the same thing that we were talking about, and that rationale for what causes an outward shift and what causes an inward shift.